preparation for next week's Big Sky Conference Open? What do you think of your team's ability to, stay focused on the task at hand?
I thought we did an excellent job. We got 3 turnovers in the first half. We got 5 touchdowns in a row on 5 drives in the second half, and 38-0 halftime lead. I think that says it all. That our guys were ready and focused, and we took care of the matters at hand.
How do you approach a game like that? We are up 38-0. I know you guys don't want to run up the score or anything like that, but you want your guys to continue to play hard. How do you keep them focused without running up the score?
It's one of the toughest situations in the game, honestly. You want to get the number 2s in and play. Have to keep the game under control. I coached a game once where we were ahead 31-0 at halftime, and we won 38-35 in a shootout. Sac State came back from a long ways down last year against us, so there's always that possibility. You can't take anything for granted. And then when you go out there, if you want the clock to run and you want to be able to run the football and not take any chances and throw the ball away. So the number 2 quarterback has a tough day of it because you're not really letting the wraps off on him like you would if he was just playing. So it's a nightmare, honestly, as a coach, especially the offensive play caller, trying to decide what to do during that second half.
Did you make a conscious effort to try and get the ball to spray a little bit more today?
No, I just think we want to continue to work on our running game, and so Cody and Trey were alternating a lot, and sometimes it just happened that Trey was in when the running plays were called. We would like to be able to just roll those 2 guys now just sort of seamlessly whenever the guy that's fresher will be in there and he carries it 2 or 3 times, the other guy will go in. That's a nice job, a nice deal to have 2 like that so that we can keep them fresh throughout the course of a whole game when we need to do that. I've got to look at the tape really to see how that backup offensive line did. Those were the guys I really wanted to evaluate. Guys like Ben Tauanu'u and Stephen Memory played his first snaps for us. Andrew Verlanik, those guys, Quinn Catalano. So I'm anxious to watch the tape and see how they played. T. Salanoa is another one playing at tight end. It's so hard to know, until you really watch it and see how their technique was. But we know we got a bunch of reps for them, and that's really good. Yeah. Well, it was amazing. We talked right away at the beginning of the pep talk or whatever, right before we came out, about getting the ball, taking the ball away. Turnovers was going to be the focus, and then the first drive we get one. It was outstanding. I mean, the defense was so excited. Bethley's been working hard, and the ball bounced right on the tip, and we got it. Then got a couple more, and it was exactly what we ordered. The defense had said their goal was to get 3 turnovers, and we got 3 in the first half, and that sort of takes a monkey off our back a little bit. We were sort of feeling jinxed a little bit about not getting turnovers, and now I think we can say we're going to be that team. We will have a chance to get some turnovers in the future.
I thought it was an interesting game. It was, as Rob Ash said in the post-game conference, these are kind of hard games as a coach because you get up 38-0 and you don't really know what to do. Coach Holland mentioned kind of the second team getting in there and giving it a go a little bit, but it's tough because the play calling was so limited. Rob Ash is such a classy coach. He doesn't want to run up the score. So, I thought it put those guys in a good position to get playing time, but it put them in a tough position at the same time because what they were able to do was so limited. I mean, they didn't open up the playbook hardly at all in the second half.
We've talked so often about slow starts. It looked like it was another one today. Did you think so?
Well, I mean, they got a field goal on their first drive, and they're up 10-0 by the time their third possession rolled around. So I don't know if it's necessarily a slow start. We were talking about that in the press box as well. Somebody was saying, this is Minot State. Why isn't Montana State rolling already? Mm-hmm. Well, as I said on my blog and in the press box, if this offense isn't in a rhythm, it doesn't matter who they're playing. It's a pedestrian offense. When the offense is in a rhythm, they're dynamite. So it's just a matter of finding that rhythm. And you saw, after about the first 5 series, they found that rhythm.
And I thought, even though the big play was McGee to Akla, I thought Cody Kirk kind of did another spark today.
Absolutely. He was tough to bring down. Like Coach Holland said, he has elusive speed a little bit. He's a little bit deceiving, but his balance is what really impressed me today because Minot was actually selling out on the run the whole first quarter. And Cody was able to turn stuff that could have been maybe a 2-yard gain into 8, 9, 10, sometimes up to 13 yards.
He had a couple where he was tackled 4 times on one play.
Yeah, and just rolling out of it, using his balance, kind of just being shifty like he is. So I think that's one thing that's really underrated about the kid is he's got a tremendous balance.
You've talked to them a lot. What is it about McGee and Akla they're twins.
I think it just has to do with they just have such a competitor's mindset, each of them. I asked Akpla that the first day of fall camp. I said, why is it that you guys seem to feed off each other so much? And he said, it's because they have a competition with each other. Denarius always talks about how Elvis has a great understanding of what it takes to be great. And I think that Denarius has that as well. And being that they, combination, that works tremendously because they both are trying to be great individually while competing with each other, and then they make each other great alongside one another.
You were at the press conference this week when I asked Denarius just how good Akpla was. He said he's a pro receiver. Do you agree?
That's funny. I was just talking to my brother on the phone about this. I said, after today, I think that Elvis Akpla is an NFL caliber receiver. Absolutely.
Wow. Okay. Very good. Thanks a million. Always appreciate your insight.
These guys did exactly what they wanted to do. They came in, they marched in, they were effective, fairly effective early in the game, and then they really got things rolling from that third possession right through the half. Denarius McGee was on fire, like 10 of 15 passing for 2 touchdowns and over 200 yards in the first half alone. They split the football up offensively on the ground between Cody Kirk and Trey Robinson. I asked Rob Ash afterwards, did you conscientiously get Robinson more carries today? Because it seemed like you did. He said, no, not really. He goes, it just happened to work out that when we called those formations, he was on the field. But he notably did have more carries today. Ultimately, the big play of the game was that Denarius McGee to Elvis Akpla touchdown. Right down the sideline. In fact, Richie Melby called it just moments before it happened. He goes, I'm going to go shoot in this corner, and I'm going to wait for Akpla to run right into my camera. He's supposed to be the defensive guru, but he made it work on offense for us. I asked Akpla afterwards about that touchdown catch.
I think they just made a mistake. The corner had went on a blitz, and the safety took the tight end, so I was just wide open, and I think they just kind of lost track of me. Yeah, I talked to Denarius, and he just said, he either got hit or he got something in his eye, and he just couldn't see, so he kind of threw it blind. So, but yeah, I mean, it was a good play. No, yeah, I knew where I was. We practice it every day. Coach Ron Bergen does a good job of, practicing the sideline catches and make sure we turn up. And I knew where I was, but yeah, it was just a good play. I think we just used the momentum into next week. I think we did a good job executing in a long stretch, and we just, we're gonna have to enjoy the win, and we're going to watch tape and fix our mistakes and go from there. We're the only team in the Big Sky that didn't play a conference game, so we're eager to get the first one going.
I just did my job, man. Coach told me to line up. Some plays I lined up, and they got me the ball. So I feel like I had some work to do. I made a few mistakes out there, so I'm just going to go out there and get back in the film room and do a better job next time. Everybody has kinks, and every day we're just going to go in the film room and just get better and play for the next game. Just thankful for God to let me get that touchdown, and just excited, man. I was just very excited.
Again, Minot State was over its head. They were in over their head. They knew it coming in. The Bobcats knew it. MSU did it exactly the way they wanted to. They marched in. They blew it open in the first half. They got reps in the second half, and they got to see some second and third team players play. Rob Ash is excited to evaluate the tape this week. Then it's full speed ahead into their first conference game of the 2011 campaign. Ted, Sonny, back to you guys.
Thanks, Scott. Great stuff. He talked a lot about Trey Robinson. How impressed are you with him?
Well, I am. He's got great size for a tailback. He's got good balance. He sees the field well. He stays on his feet. I think we're going to see bigger and better things from Trey Robinson as time goes on.
How fast is he?
I think he's fast enough. I think he's probably a little faster than Cody in a breakaway speed. I think he's a kind of a tailback. The more he carries the ball, the stronger he gets. And so I was glad to see him get the ball as many times as he did today.
I so much talk about this offense, but I honestly think it's fair to say that so far throughout the fall, the defense has been what's dominated so far, especially in those fall scrimmages. Well, I believe it was 1 touchdown they gave up to Denarius and that offense. But the one thing that we have yet to see this defense shine on so far in games, the turnover battle. We talked about it earlier in the preseason show. They need to force some turnovers in there, get the ball and give it back to Denarius. However, that wasn't the case today. First half alone, 3 takeaways, 2 huge interceptions by safety Stephen Bethley, and afterwards players, well, they were pretty pleased.
And the defensive coaches, they've been harping on just creating some turnovers and getting some takeaways for the defense to help our offense out. And so, I mean, the first one we were in man coverage and the ball was overthrown and I saw it tip, so I had a chance to make a play, so I dove and got on it. And the second one, I mean, the quarterback, he led me to the ball, and I mean, I was helping the corner out, and I was right there to make the play. So, I mean, secondary, I mean, you don't get that many opportunities, so when you get it, I mean, you have to make that play.
We stressed that all week because we haven't been able to get turnovers on defense, and Bethley stepped up big, had a couple picks, and then I think Kali'i forced a fumble, and Roger jumped on it, and that was big just to get us going as far as creating turnovers, so now we can create momentum from that and keep on going into conference play.
I mean, it's always easier having a dominant D-line, I mean, because, I mean, the ball's coming out quick when our D-line gets pressure. So, I mean, the DBs, you kind of keep that in your head that it's going to come out quick, especially on a third down situation, that it's coming out quick. So just be ready. I mean, we all have our jobs. It's 11 guys on the field, so each of us do our job. And, I mean, that opportunity is going to come, and it's going to happen, and we just got to make that play.
We came out and played good football. I mean, they played hard, you know, just like we expected them to do. But when everybody does our job on defense, we're a tough defense.
I mean, you see the good plays that we made, and then we watch film, and you see the things that we need to improve on. And you make sure we improve on that. Therefore, that Eastern doesn't pick us on those plays that didn't go so well for us.
So again, great to see that from this defense, but we do have to remember it was against a Minot State offense. This team just jumped up from the NAI level. Things sure to get a lot tougher next year, next week rather, when they go into defending FCS champ Eastern Washington, and of course we'll have more on them later on in the show. Sonny, Ted?
Thanks, Richie. Great stuff. How about the defensive line? How impressed are you?
Well, I think we got 4 or 5 really good kids there, and I think over time they're going to continue to get better. Zach Minter is kind of the leader of the crew, and I think there's other people that can step in there, like the Daly kid, and our defensive ends are big John Ledette.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a great one, and I just like what I see there. I think, you know, the thing I really like, Ted, is our units are complementing one another. Our offense is complementing the defense and vice versa. That has to happen to have a winning program, and I think that's starting to happen.
All right, very good. Well, Sonny, a year ago, Eastern Washington won the national championship, but look at this. Montana State dominated that game 30-10. What did you see?
Well, it was a great game. We did. We dominated it from beginning to end. They had
Zach Minter with a big interception there?
That's right. They have a great tailback who's now in the pros with the Oakland Raiders, and the Bobcats had a great day against them. It's probably one of the best games we played all season. They're going to be on fire waiting for us in Cheney this week.
What was the best thing about last year's game that you were able to do to them?
Well, we were able to run the ball, and we were able to throw the ball. We scored 30 points against a team that won the national championship, and we moved the ball in every way, and defensively we had an outstanding day with Zach Minter intercepting a pass for a touchdown. So it was just an outstanding day. We had a great crowd, and it turned out to be a great game throughout the course of the year.
From what you've seen, is this year's team better than last year?
As far as Eastern Washington?
Montana State.
I think we're going to be better, Ted.
Okay. Well, let's check in now with Scott Ritchie about this year's Eastern Washington team.
Yeah, that's right. And they dropped to 0-3 today as they fall apart at Missoula this afternoon. I don't know if this team's going to come in, and here we take a look at some video, Richie. Does Eastern Washington come out next week like they're just beaten to death, or do they come out with their ears pinned back because they're hacked off?
Well, that's kind of the question right now. And you and I actually watched the end of this game at Bobcat Stadium, and all those Cats fans weren't pleased with the outcome. Actually, Eastern Washington had a chance to go down, win that game, an interception in the final 30 seconds. They wind up losing. So now that is the exact question. You're going into the Inferno in Cheney. It's their home opener, their conference opener as well. Same for the Cats. So can they pick up that win? Are they going to come out fired up, or are they already, 0-3, a little too far down? Yeah, this is their 4th game of the football season, and they have not played at home yet. What didn't impress me today was Bo Levi Mitchell. This kid's supposed to be a stud. He's transfers from SMU, and down the stretch, he had a chance to convert a 4th and 2. I don't know that we're going to see it, but he missed it. He overthrew it, and then he had a chance in their final possession as well and couldn't get that done. So, Ted, Sonny, we'll send it back to you guys. Could be a long week next week, or it could be a great week for the Bobcats.
Sonny, you're going to the game, right?
I am.
Well, how do you expect Montana State to get ready for it?
Well, they're going to work hard all week. They know they better be ready. We're going into the Inferno over there in Cheney. And
that red field.
Oh, yeah, red jerseys. There's red on red. And we're going to be there, and our face isn't going to be red when it's over.
You know, it's interesting. The Mountain West made Boise State stop using their blue uniforms. Can the Big Sky do anything about Eastern West?
Yeah, they ought to think about it.
All right, Sonny, as always, thanks a million. We'll see you next week after the game.
The Montana State Bobcats are the defending Big Sky Conference champions.